One Singapore-based entrepreneur is working to improve agriculture today.
I am from Uruguay, and when I was 12 years old, there was this very big epidemic of foot and mouth disease. Foot and mouth disease is an illness that affects livestock, and Uruguay's main export, even today, are livestock products. So the country went into an economic crisis that affected not only the rural sector, but actually the whole country, and actually the whole region, including Brazil, Argentina. And I started thinking, how could there be a system capable of detecting when the animals are sick on time to prevent this from happening? So this, I have with me 10 devices that are transmitting right now. So this device...
Victoria Alonso Perez created a tool for minding livestock from the comfort of her home.
Chipsafer is a platform where we can monitor livestock remotely and autonomously. And what we do is we have our own proprietary smart sensor that goes attached to a collar around the neck of the animal. With this, we can know the GPS, so the location of the animals at all times, but also we can know the behavior of the animal and send a warning if an anomaly is detected to warn the farmer so that they can take action in time.
Chipsafer uses GPS technology developed for military applications in the 1970s. 24 satellites circle the Earth, transmitting signals that provide pinpoint locations worldwide. GPS is a fixture on cell phones and other devices, but it has only now been used for animals. Chipsafer is a tracking device that's used to keep a close eye on individual animals' movements in herds. The system tracks an animal's behavior and location, collecting, storing, and transmitting the data to a platform accessible worldwide.
So here I put just some boundaries, which would be what the farm is, and then I put some perimeter. So if any of these devices would go outside of this perimeter, we will get an alert immediately, which is very important for cattle theft. It means that either an animal went wandering around or an animal being stolen. So I can know exactly where it was, which is so important for the farmers to know. Like, farmers have been telling us that they are saving on gas, for example, because they just see the animals there and they don't really have to go around. So this is something very important for them.
A coming Chipsafer product will let armchair cowboys monitor the health of livestock.
We have the boluses. This go inside of the animal, and it has a temperature sensor, so you can know the real temperature of the animal. This goes through the mouth and stays there for the entire life of the animal, transmitting. Welcome back, everyone. Up next, we have the space agency.
Victoria couldn't find a suitable manufacturer for her product until she visited Singapore.
I would say classical approach to cooperation.
It was Jonathan Hung who introduced her to opportunities in the local space sector.
The space industry in Singapore is growing. Started off largely with the universities, institutes of higher learning, and predominantly has been in satellite research. That has actually evolved quite well over recent years. The satellite programs have taken off. We have launched 19 satellites, and counting to space already, many of which have been successfully deployed. We have a very strong foundation of electronics. Largely, we have doubled down and discussed in satellite manufacturing, satellite research, satellite R&D. That requires a lot of electronics fundamentals and core capabilities. And I think we have a lot of those kind of critical talent and domain expertise residing within Singapore.
Hey, Chenning, how's everything going? I see that you have some updates.
Yeah.
Today I came to meet Chenning, who is the CEO and founder of NUSpace, which is a Singapore company that is building satellites here in Singapore. And so NUSpace has helped us design and develop these new devices, which we're using right now, but also designing the next generation of the devices.
We have 3D printed multiple casings to try and figure out whether we can fit the electronics inside and make it smaller, make the overall device smaller.
It's amazing that we can have a smaller case because that means that we can use it in more animals.
Yeah. What happened was that Victoria needed someone to help develop the hardware for her. So what we did is we worked with her, came up with the requirement matrix for her trackers, and then we designed the hardware as well as the software to go with those trackers.
Chipsafer was born out of Victoria's passion for space technology.
Very passionate about space, but not just the space of like being an astronaut and going to space, but actually understanding more of the universe. My passion started when I was 4 years old. My dad is an accountant, and every single day he would write numbers on a very big piece of paper. And I asked him what was those numbers for. So he took me to the window, and that was a full moon day, and he showed me the moon. And my dad told me that humans had been able to go to the moon with the combination of just 2 numbers, zeros and 1. And I was so impressed. And from that day on, I became completely obsessed with space technology. So I see that these amazing technologies that we have from space are going to enable a more sustainable and a more equitable world than the one that we have today.